What's up, guys, and welcome to another Maker Monday. How's everybody been? Has everybody been doing good? I hope so. Boy, it's been a while since I've done a Maker Monday, so I apologize for that. I do have some makery stuff. Let's go ahead and start the old stopwatch. If I can get my watch to actually start, would be nice. So anyway, how are you guys doing? Is everything going good? I hope everything's been doing well. Hope you had time to catch the Maker Monday, or the Maker Faire video that I posted just this weekend, and hopefully you check that out, because that was a lot of fun. I met a couple of you at Maker Faire, so that was awesome. It was so cool to get to see you guys, a couple of you guys in person. But anyway, if you haven't ever checked out a Maker Faire, I highly recommend it. It seems like a ton of fun when I first looked at it, and now that I actually joined it, and well, I've gone to a couple of them too, but being part of it was a really fun too. So I encourage you to go check one out, and if you feel like it, you're making something cool, join it. It actually is pretty cool. You just walk in there. At least mine was free, unless you were selling something, then it cost you something. It wasn't bad. But anyway, really awesome stuff. However, I did want to talk about makery stuff today. I did get a box in the mail. Company by the name of dfrobot, which is kind of like an ICStation or an Adafruit or something like that. They have lots of different hardware and things that you can purchase from them. Sensors, microcontrollers, all kinds of stuff, and you can purchase from them and check it all out. They were gracious enough to send me a couple of things, so I've got a box of goodies here. So I'm going to go ahead and open this up. I have to admit, I have already opened it just to check and make sure things weren't damaged and whatnot. So I did open it up. Got some swag, some dfrobot pins and stickers, so that's awesome. Then I've got a couple of things. Now, I did know what they were going to send me. They told me what they were going to be, and so I do know what these are, but I'm going to go ahead and open them up, and we'll check them out together. So the first thing on the block here, it's kind of nice. They come in these nice little boxes. I think that's kind of cool, is the Firebeetle Microcontroller. So what this is this basically is a microcontroller, basically Arduino controlled microcontroller with an onboard ESP8266, so that way you can do Wi-Fi, and it also has a Bluetooth module on it as well, so you can do Wi-Fi and Bluetooth. So there is the little guy. See if I can get closer to the camera here. There is the little guy. Pretty cool. It comes with some headers and some things. A cool thing that I wanted to note is that it does have the JST or whatever connector right here, so you can go ahead and connect up a lithium polymer battery, just a LiPo battery. Like I'd have to dig it out, but I've got a few. Anyway, I found that to be really cool. The silk screen on the bottom has the pinout listings on the bottom of it. It also comes with some headers and some sockets. It looks like socket headers too. So basically what I mean by that is it's basically these headers that are really long, but they have sockets on them. I don't know if you can see that, but it's a socketed header. You basically slide this header all the way through the board, like so, and that way you have pins on the top and a socket on the bottom, which is useful, because that way you can stack up stuff if it supports that. So that's really cool. So that's the Firebeetle from dfrobot. All right, so that's the first piece. Our second box, which is a bigger box, this is a waterproof temperature sensor module. That's what this guy will be. So I'm gonna go ahead and set that down. So let's go ahead and see if we can't get into it. I need something sharp. Meter probe. Meter probes are awesome because they're so sharp. So let's peel this open. All right, so here's the temperature probe. Hello, that over there. So this is the temperature probe. Basically, it is a watertight temperature probe. So you could submerge this. And then it's got the 3 leads, power, ground, and signal. And then they even give you a little module. Let's rip this open too. like I said, I've only unboxed the box. I haven't actually opened up the modules to see what's in there. Okay, so it looks like you get a basically board connector, the ability to connect it to a board. It's got like a small JST connector on one end. Hopefully you can see that. See if I can do this one-handed. You can see that JST connector on one hand, and then it looks like it's just got some push button, just like a push button locking, whatever it is, terminal block on the other end. Chip that they're using, I don't know if they're using a chip. Nope, they're not using a chip at all. This is just kind of like an interface board. They've got some pull-ups and pull-downs that's jumpered, so you can probably pull the signal higher, pull it low, depending on what type of transducer you have. So that's going to be my guess, unless they allow you to be able to use pull-ups or pull-downs if you want to use maybe negative logic or something like that in your control logic. But the idea is probably this is going to be an analog signal coming in, so you probably configure, you know, one of the ADC ports on the Firebeetle or your Arduino or whatever, and then that way you can bring that information in, and it's already, you know, nice and neat on a board for you. So what am I going to do with this? Well, number one, the first thing I'm going to do with this thing is I had a great idea. I love brewing. I love to brew beer and stuff like that. Those of you that know me, I brew my own. I do my own home brew. And so a thing that is very nice to have, or at least nice to know when you're doing home brewing, is, how are we doing on time? Yeah, we're doing great. Is to know the temperature of your, not necessarily the mash. I mean, the mash is nice to know and all that stuff, but really a really critical part is knowing the temperature at which it is fermenting at. I actually had experienced problems with that before, that it was actually getting too hot, and if the yeast gets too hot during fermentation, it will actually produce, you know, fusel alcohols and other esters and things that may be unwanted in your beer that will cause the flavor to be off. So you have to keep a pretty good eye on it. Well, most of us take one of those sticker thermometers and slap it to the side of the fermenter, and then we watch the temperature that way. That's an okay way of doing it. It's really more or less telling you the outside temperature and kind of the temperature of the wall of the fermenter, and depending on what kind of fermenter it is, whether it's, if you're like me, I use plastic ones, so the thermal constant is a little large, so it's not an accurate depiction of what's going on in the actual solution. And in the solution, the yeast, as they consume sugar and produce the alcohol and the carbon dioxide, it does produce a bit of heat, and it can warm up the actual liquid that's in there. So I was thinking, why not we build, and I saw this actually on one of my brewing websites, that someone had already kind of beat us to the punch here, but I'm going to make ourselves a DIY version. But basically they call it, I think it's the fermentation bug or something like that, but it's basically like a little adapter that hooks on top of your deal and has a temperature probe, and you put it down in there, and then it measures your temperature and all kinds of other things and sends all that information to you over Wi-Fi. Well, with this setup, I think we can do that exact thing. We'll take the Firebeetle, we'll hook it up, it's battery powered, it works off of 3.3 volts, it can work all the way up to 5 volts too. It's got a mini or micro USB port on it too, so it'll work from 3.3 to 5 volts. But we can configure this thing, program it and everything to read this temperature, and then over Wi-Fi it'll send it to, oh, I don't know, I was thinking sending it to Home Assistant through like using MQTT, because this is ESP8266, so we could probably do MQTT and pipe the temperature to our Home Assistant, and then we could actually have alerts and things like that to where Home Assistant would send us an email or send us a text message or something like that, telling us that, hey, our temperature's getting too high or something like that, or maybe the temperature's too low. You know, for ales, the temperature can't be real low, unlike a it just went out of my mind. Lager, there we go. Unlike a lager, where yeast can survive at much lower temperatures, you know, if the temperature drops too low, you can actually have problems there too. So I think this would be a great idea. And then the quintessential thing of it all is I want to keep the temperature probe, but I told dfrobot that I wanted at least 2 items, so that way I could give one away. So when we are done putting this cool little contraption together, I will be giving away the Firebeetle. So those of you that may enjoy this, I will be putting a video out there for a giveaway where you could win your very own Firebeetle. All right, from dfrobot. So, in any case, that probably has taken up most of our time. Yes, it has, for today's Maker Monday. So I hope you enjoy the Maker Faire video, as well as I got many more videos coming out. We got some stuff on the Cortana, because I'm going to put Cortana in that Halo helmet that I 3D printed. I'm going to do it. It's, you know, come hell or high water. Been having issues with Microsoft, but that's to be expected. It's Microsoft. So once I get those solved, you'll be seeing that video come out, as well as I've got some more 3D printing videos coming. Yeah, the dfrobot stuff. I'm going to try to maybe fire up the quadcopter some more. I even think, tell me what you think in the comments down below. I think maybe since we're doing a device to do brewing, would you guys like to see how to do like a whole all grain brew mash and everything? Would that be interesting to you guys? I was thinking of creating maybe a new series that was just called like DIY with MI. What do you think? I don't know. That's probably cheesy, but still, I think it'd be fun, and do just some DIY stuff. Maybe not exactly electronics, but you know, other little DIY stuff, just to kind of sprinkle that in there, just to give the channel more variety. Let me know what you think down in the comments, because as always, I love reading you guys' comments. I love talking to you guys and interacting with y'all, and that's what makes me keep making videos, is you guys out there on the good old interwebs. So take care, keep making, keep building. Make sure to like, subscribe, share, and all that jazz. Check out the links down below for maybe the Amazon Prime link and whatnot. Sign up for that. That's actually an awesome deal. I have spent so much money, or I would have spent so much money in shipping, and it saved me in all the shipping and everything having Amazon Prime. So check that out down below. It helps the channel. I get a little bit back from Amazon, so it helps the channel, helps you. Thanks guys, and we will see you next time.